Today we're taking a look at what is uranium, and we are looking at the Georgia Department of Public Health and Hazards Program to understand more. So what is uranium? Why is it important? What are the health effects? Can you remove it from your well water? Good questions to ask. Let's take a look. So uranium is a naturally occurring radioactive metal found in rock, soil, and water. As a result, some private wells in Georgia may exceed the federally regulatory standard for uranium in public water supplies. And uranium occurs more in bedrock, and deep bedrock wells are more likely than shallow wells to have elevated levels of uranium. The amount of uranium in well water will vary greatly from place to place. Testing is the only way to determine if water contains uranium. While exposure to elevated levels of uranium in drinking water for a short period of time is not an immediate health concern, uranium may pose a health risk when water is used for drinking and cooking over many years. And this is not from the toxic effect of uranium metal, not radiation, and the amount of radiation emitted by uranium is very small and poses little health risk. And you can be exposed to uranium by drinking and cooking with water containing uranium, as uranium does not absorb through the skin and it does not evaporate from water into the air. So what are the health effects of uranium? Natural uranium is normal in your diet, so there will always be some level of uranium in all parts of your body. Most uranium in drinking water is quickly eliminated from the body, but a small amount of it is absorbed from the digestive tract. Exposure to elevated levels of uranium over a long period can cause damage to your kidneys. However, the kidney can recover from this damage after exposure is reduced or eliminated. It has not been determined whether uranium in drinking water causes cancer. So to really determine that, you would want to talk to a healthcare provider and get a test. The big question is, can I remove uranium from well water? And the Department of Health recommends that you contact your county cooperative extensive officer certified laboratory for a test. You have to test for it before you can say, I'm going to remove it. You want to know how much MCl is in there. If it's exceeding, you want to know how many parts per billion are in there, what's going on. If you do have elevated uranium, you can use a point of use filtration. Point of use filtration can remove up to 90% of the uranium in water. Now, what if you're a sensitive population? What if there's kids around? What if something else is going on? Infants and young children are most risk for adverse health effects from repeated exposure to uranium in drinking water because of their body weight and developing systems. Infants and children are exposed to higher doses, and their growing bodies absorb more contamination and can sustain permanent damage if exposures occur during critical growth stages. Therefore, pregnant and nursing women who may become pregnant, infants with small children, and sensitive populations should avoid consuming water with elevated levels of uranium. When uranium is found in drinking water, the indoor air should be tested for radon gas, and radon is a colorless, odorless gas that comes from the decay of uranium, and radon can build up in the odor and indoor air, resulting in elevated radon levels in the home, and it emits particles that can be harmful to the human body. And the last question is it regulated? The Safe Drinking Water Act covers uranium in public drinking water, and the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency establishes maximum containment levels, MCLs, for radioactive contaminants in public drinking water supplies. MCLs are below levels, and health effects have been observed. Therefore, they are assumed to be protective public health, and the uranium MCL is 30 micrograms per liter, or 30 parts per billion, though private wells are not subject to the same regulatory standards as set for public drinking water supplies. It is recommended health purposes that private well owners use these standards to guide their treatments. So this is some good information on uranium in private well water, what to do with uranium, is it harmful? So it's a good idea to understand more about uranium, but also test for it and make sure that there's not elevated levels in your water.